We're all in the courtroom, not the overflow room. This is the main courtroom. We're basically going to be in the same room as Diddy. I was in the same room as Diddy. The courtroom is packed beyond belief. Everybody is there. The entire family showed out. But unfortunately, I didn't see Janice. Didn't see what was going on with her. And then out of the corner of my eye, somebody appeared late, fashionably late, or perhaps, by, accident. And the blindness of this wig, the color, the beach blonde kind of synthetic brightness color that was blinding my eyes, I genuinely thought the rapture was coming. I thought God was returning, somebody was returning, something like this whatever Janice was wearing today was something that I have not seen before. I feel like this was diabolical. It truly is only getting worse, and it was just not the right thing for Janice to wear. So beach blonde, bright blonde, synthetic, fake-ish kind of like tint is what it was giving. It did not move. It was not, going left to right, nothing. It was just stiff. So that in itself was crazy, because one thing about Janice, she's going to show up and show out. That wig is going to show up and show out. She's celebrating. She got her RICO case dropped. So we are there, guys. This morning I went live, after it was a very long, stressful day in court. I was in the courtroom with Diddy. The man walked in, and when he walked in, like, he was looking at everybody, and I felt like he was going to look at me. I moved my eyes. I don't know why I did that. As he was looking at me, I moved my eyes to the right because I did not want to look this man in the eye. There's something demonic about looking at this man in the eye. I just can't do it. The man walks in some kind of beige, prison wear. He looked an absolute mess. His face looked exhausted. His, hair is now turned into a grey afro, and you can see that he's got his beard. He looks disheveled. He looks aged. Anything that the sketch artist was doing is not what it is like in person. In person is far worse than whatever that sketch artist is. I'm telling you guys now, whatever that sketch artist, the sketch artists were there, the two women that were there, they've got binoculars and they're looking at him like, they be drawing for their life. Do you understand? They be drawing for their life. He's looking at everybody. He's smiling. He's looking at his twins and the older sister. 3 of them came first. They were all there, punctual. Looking at everybody, kept looking behind, said hello to everybody, was quick to say hello to the judge, trying to beg it, of course, being his good graces. Throughout the entire case, the twin sisters were laughing. They were, making jokes. They were giggling. They were talking about stuff with their older sister. They did not give a damn about what the hell was going on with their father. They've probably been through it enough or read through enough of it that I just feel like, because the way that they were looking at, they just did not care. They were, guys, the whole family, I don't even know where to begin with this video because I'm so gagged. The whole family was sitting in front of me. I did not expect to sit in the main courtroom. I thought I was going to be in the overflow room, which is what I normally go in, where you get a TV and you see everything directly. But no, I got access to the main courtroom today. The entire family, Janice, the wig, Christian Combs, of course, fashionably came late with his girl. They sat right in front of me. Then the twins were also in front of me as well with their older sister. The whole family was there. Then the other Combe brothers, they came, they were in the row, but I was sitting with the family as if I was part of the family. That in itself is killing me because I just didn't expect that. It was so weird because I was trying to concentrate on what Judge Arun was saying, and then at the same time the family were having conversations and I was trying to eavesdrop. I was trying to be messy and be like, you know what, since I'm here with the Combs and we all doing Combs Avengers together, we all sitting in court together, child, I just thought, you know what, me in my suit doing the absolute most, I thought, you know what, it's time to look good, it's time to show the F out. But overall, this was a case for Diddy's acquittal. He was arguing for 2 of his Mann Act charges to be dropped or for a new trial. I expected Judge Arun to tell us right there and then at the end of this long hearing, which was an hour and a half, what was the result. But he is going to, go back in the drawing board and then publish it later on today, tomorrow. We don't know when, but he did say shortly. Oh Lord, Diddy was smiling to everybody, trying to be upbeat, trying to show that I'm a brave face and trying to show that I'm good. I did not want to look at this man when he was looking at me. I just could not do it, guys. Call me whatever you want to call me. I'm not looking at this man dead in the eye. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. Overall, guys, they basically were arguing different cases of examples to show and prove their points. The defense had a collection of cases, the prosecution had a collection of cases, and they're basically throwing the cases at the judge to prove why their argument should be believed. The defense were looking at certain cases to say that this is why this wasn't prostitution in these cases, these people didn't go down for prostitution in these cases, why should he go down for this in this case? We've got these examples. And then the prosecution were doing basically the opposite. Now, Anna Estavo, the leading person for Diddy in this particular point, mess. Diddy's in big trouble. The defense did an awful job today. She was stumbling over her words. She forgot certain things. She was going basically back and forth. And, you know, certain times when she was making points, the judge interrupted multiple times to correct her or tried to let her know that she was wrong. That in itself pissed off Diddy. He looked agitated. He kept speaking to Brian Steele. His eyes were down. He had his reading glasses on. He was going through his filings. He kept looking back. He kept nodding his head. He kept moving. He looked very agitated and nervous because Anna Estavo, his main lawyer, was not doing a good job. And I'll give you some examples. Basically, one thing that the defense said was that, you know, Diddy was never a ringmaster, and it's unfair that the prosecution said that he was a ringmaster, but basically wasn't looking at other theories. The judge interjects and says, you know, let's look at a case with the brothel where, you know, if you have a man and then he brings, you know, his client to the brothel to do things with the, you know, with the person, is that not the same as what Diddy was doing, transporting people? And well, the lawyer says, well, you know, this is a different case. And before Anna Estavo finishes her sentence, the judge in response, he cuts her off and says, why is it a different case? That's how he said it. Why is it a different case? It's the same laws being applied to both. Why can't this be used as an example? Because clearly the stipulations are the same. That's basically what he was saying. And I was thinking, gag it. Gag it, Judge. Judge Arun was not holding back. He did that 3 to 4 times when it comes to Anna Estavo. The next point that Anna Estavo made was the racist origins of the Mann Act. And Christy Slavic prosecution responded by saying that you've been arguing the racist origins. All of that got thrown out anyways. This is boring and tired. Then at the same time, the prosecution made good points in regards to the fact that the jurors found this man guilty of the Mann Acts. So what is Diddy talking about when it comes to the prejudice of the jurors and for the fact that, you know, there's certain prejudice issues here and that's why they want a new trial? Because it's the same jurors that found you guilty. But now suddenly you're saying that these jurors, you know, there's prejudice. It doesn't make any sense. Diddy was watching, therefore there's no Mann Act, was basically his argument, and they were using other cases to show this. His lawyers basically just kept on stumbling. The judge pushed back on this, and, you know, in terms of the definition of basically what prosecution is, the judge was dragging Diddy's lawyers on also the events on certain cases that they were using as examples. The defense were trying to use these cases, and well, the judge was like, well, you know, that actually didn't happen. This happened. This event happened. You're wrong about that event in the case because this happened. Judge Arun is there for a reason. That man knows these cases by memory. He's got one hell of a mindset when it comes to this. And he was correcting Anna Estavo. He was correcting the... Diddy's lawyers just did a really bad job. Again, the prosecution kept saying there's sufficient evidence of prostitution here. There's sufficient evidence, evidently, because the jurors found this man guilty. That's what we're basing this on. Outside of that, the defense brings up a point and basically talks about how Jane wanted to bring a TV for these, you know, freak-off stuff. And the judge interrupted her again and says, what does Jane bringing a TV have to do with the fact that Diddy was transporting certain people for certain acts? Boom. They were desperate, clutching at random straws. Even I could have done a better job defending Diddy. Because what does a TV have to do with him transporting stuff? Like, I don't understand. The racist origins, you've already argued that conversation. And then when you want to have the audacity to say, oh, you know, this was a different case. And then judge said, well, why is it different? Because the stipulations are the same. And aren't we all here to use these cases to basically compare Anna Estavo? It didn't make sense. The defense confirmed that the money was Diddy's, and, you know, had he given cash to other employees, it doesn't really change anything as well. Continuously denies Diddy as a ringleader. Diddy seemed agitated and was speaking to Brian Steele a lot. Like, I'm so sorry. Diddy and his lawyers got packed up today. The prosecution did a good job. Judge Arun confirmed at the end that both parties presented straight, you know, strong arguments, and they were very coherent. But I do believe that the prosecution were much better. I feel like the defense didn't know what they were talking about. And throughout all of this, I kept looking at the family, and the sisters were still giggling around. You know, they were still giggling, having their moment. With their older sister. There was a woman next to Christian Combs who was part of the family, I assume PR or something. She kept shaking her head like this, like she was pissed at basically what was going on. To see Diddy live in the flesh and to be in the same room as this man, and to see him looking at us and even trying to look at me, and to see his face and how he's aged after looking at these sketches for so long, It is just pure, you're speechless. And in that moment, you're speechless. When he comes in, it's like a monster, like some kind of devil is coming into the room. Everybody is dead quiet, looking at him. The courtroom is packed. And this man just seems completely lost, trying to put up a strong face, desperate to get out of the jailhouse, and it's not going to work for him. We were there for an hour and a half non-stop of looking at different cases. This hearing was exhausting. I expected this hearing today to be no short than 15-20 minutes, but that wasn't the case. It was a very long time. Christian Combs bringing his girlfriend, I don't understand, and coming fashionably late, it didn't make any sense. The family themselves don't even seem interested in this case. They just seem to be there just to watch this. And I can't even imagine what they feel like. Like, are you not embarrassed? You're listening to your dad, freak off this, freak off that. They did this to Cassie, they did this to Jane, the prosecution were going over it, and the family are just sitting there having to hear everything that their father did. It's just, the whole thing is embarrassing. It really, guys, it really is embarrassing. Shocking case. Can't believe I was there live in the courtroom today. This isn't even the big day, so I'm shocked that I even was able to get access and get in. But next Friday, I believe, which is 3rd of October, that is the big day. That's when media is going to be packed everywhere, and it's going to be probably overflow rooms due to the interest, because people are going to find out how many years this man's going to get. We're also going to find out prior to then if we're going to get a new trial, if there's going to be an acquittal. There's just so much going on. But, you know, I had to come to New York. I had to come to this hearing. I wanted to surprise you guys and not mention it until I'm here and I've done it, which is why I went live. Obviously, I came through with the suit. I appreciate all the comments of everybody saying on the live that I look handsome. I really do appreciate it, guys. I thought, you know what? Clean fade, clean beard, come correct. Like, let's be real. We are at one of the biggest trials and biggest cases ever. Outside of OJ, the whole Diddy stuff is huge. You want to sit in the courtroom when Diddy and the family are there and reading everything going on with the lawyers and look good and correct. This is like history. Like, to be part of this case and to be like witnessing this case in the courthouse, it is, you know, insane. You know, it truly is. The fact that there were even subscribers of mine in the same courtroom whilst we were talking about this case with Diddy. There were even, like, it's just crazy. So many nice people were there as well, talking to people about the case and etc. and their different opinions. It was far less hostile than it was during the verdict and everything going on with the past couple of weeks of the trial. It was a lot more mellow and calm down today. There was one man going around the press screaming, "F you guys, F the press, I hate you guys and what you've done," and etc. Some random drunk man, and you know, the press were telling him to walk away. I just walked away because I ain't got time for this. I didn't come to New York to do WWE, but this man was really screaming. Anyways, let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Please do subscribe, join Murad Nation, become a Murader. Love every single one of you who was a Murader. There was even a guy in the courtroom who told me at the end, he told me as we got out that he was a Murader. You guys are literally everywhere. Anyways, do subscribe. It's just one click. I was live in the courtroom with Diddy. This man tried to look at me. I looked straight away. It's like it wasn't even me looking away. My soul reflexed for me and looked away because I don't have time for any of that. Let me know what thoughts are. Please do subscribe. Send a tip if you guys wish to. I'm in New York. I'm here for a week and a half now until then the next date, which is going to be the biggest one. If this man gets a new trial, then we're going to be here all over again as far as I'm concerned. But subscribe and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.